I really hated the sport. Like, I wanted to quit so many times. And my mom, my sponsors, they were just like, you know, we really think you've got talent. We really think you can see this through. I feel like everyone makes mistakes and everyone do things that they shouldn't do. No one's perfect. So I don't believe in role models. When we was in the camp, I was just doing first leg, but one of the girls got injured, so they had to put me in last leg. Bianca was changing over with me, and I haven't done any changeovers with her throughout the whole camp. So the only time we did the changeover was at the warm-up before we went inside. That kind of put me off because I was like, well, if anything goes wrong, they're going to blame us. I got out into the stadium. I said, what is this? It was packed, probably like 80,000 people, and all you see is just lights everywhere. I had Shelly and Fraser next to me, and I said, oh God.
2023 in itself was like a fantastic year for you with everything that happened. And there's two main things that I wanted to bring up. Like, obviously, you went viral. We can talk about that later. But also, you hit your two personal bests in the 100 meters and the 200 meters.
Oh, you did your research.
So what made 2023 so different compared to every other year?
I think I just started enjoying athletics a lot more now. Before, it was more like, I need to make the team. And, you know, I feel like when you put too much pressure on yourself and you look at what everyone else is doing, you start to just not do what you are good at. And for me, when I'm having fun with what I do, it's when I start performing. And so moving to America and having a new coach, a new system, a new training group was also like a big improvement for me because I was away from everything that I know here. I wasn't comfortable. Like in America, they train like dogs and no one gives you any leeway. So it was really nice to just be there and just be in an environment that everyone enjoys what they're doing. I was with my training group. My training partners have like Olympic gold medals, world gold medals. So being around that type of success kind of pushes you. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to be on the team with my training partners as well. So I was like, I need to make sure I'm on that team with them. So, you know, when we go to the Worlds, I have like someone to be with and stuff like that. So yeah, they motivated me to really push myself and get to where I needed to be.
That makes sense because when I think of athletics, right, it's such an individualistic sport. Yeah. Like there's no such thing as a team member. So I can imagine how isolating it can be if you don't have people around you to kind of push you. But also when you're around people, like that gives you another type of pressure, right? So how do you kind of deal with that type of pressure?
I train with boys, so I feel like they have kind of helped me to deal with pressure because like I'm the only sprinter in my group, woman sprinter. So I don't know, when you're training with boys and the boys are like very confident and very like, you know, Americans, they're like overly confident and they just believe in themselves so much, it rubs off on you. So you end up becoming like, your mentality just becomes more manly like. So I just feel like that has really helped me too. Yeah.
Interesting. What else about the American training is different then?
Everything. Like, just from how they train, it's completely different to how we train in the UK. America's more speed-based. Like, everything is just fast. It's quantity. I mean, it's quantity and quality over just quantity in the UK. In the UK, they like to run low. They'll have like 12 runs. Where in America, we'll have about 6 runs. And it's just good quality runs. And it's always fast.
What do you mean by that? As a novice, yeah. Okay. Are you talking about 12 runs in a training session?
Yeah, 12. So like they'll have like 12 200s. You have a 200, I don't know, 2 minutes in between, and then you go again. Whereas in America, it'll be like 6 200s, but you have like 4 to 5 minutes in between. So it's just so different. You're recovering more, but you're running faster. But it's just different. It's just the training. The training is more catered to what I like to do as well. With the longer runs and the more quantity that we do, I was always getting hurt. Like for 10 years straight, I was just back-to-back hurt. Surgeries after surgeries, injuries, hamstring pulls, hamstring strains, strep fracture, everything. So in America, I haven't had no issues. So, wow. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And obviously it's hot there too.
Yeah. The weather's always good
It's
there.
hot, yeah. I'm in Texas, so it's like 29 degrees right now and it's spring. And they think that's cold.
I mean, today was bloody cold.
Today was so cold. Yeah. I can't wait to go back tomorrow.
So on the topic of injuries, so you mentioned like 10 years you were going through a different, like you're going through an injury spell. Talk me a little bit through some of those injuries that you went through.
So I had double knee surgery, both knees. Double? So in 2014, I had my my right knee first, and then in 2015 I had my left knee. I had my cartilage removed in my left knee, so I have no cartilage in that knee. And then with my right knee, I just had like loads of cysts and everything just happening in there. God knows what was going on in that knee. And I've had stretch fracture on my foot. I've had epidural put in my back and my spine, but they did it wrong. So now my back is like hypersensitive, so I can't really get my back massaged. I know it's awful.
Oh.
I pulled my hamstring about 17 times. I used to get injections on a weekly basis the whole of 2020 and 2019. I was getting weekly injections in my knees so my knees can function. I've literally had everything. But I would say one thing that the injuries did teach me, I mean, a lot of people would have stopped by now. I don't know, kind of taught me that, I have a talent. And because every time I would come back, I would come back to like where I would have left off. It wasn't like a massive gap coming back. So I knew that there was something there. I knew that I still had a talent. I just needed to figure out how to bring that out. And I just thought the best thing to do was to kind of leave the country and just go to a new environment, new setting, somewhere that's hot, especially in the winter, because of my knee surgery. I've got like arthritis.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's really, really cold, my knees, I can't literally function. It takes so long, like forever to move. So I don't know. The injuries, they did teach me a lesson. I really hated the sport. Like, I wanted to quit so many times. And my mom and like my sponsors, they were just like, we really think you've got a talent. We really think you can see this through. And I was like, oh, let me just do it for my mom, because she's put so much effort and she's helped me so much. And so, like, when I would get injured, I would literally leave the country. I would never watch any athletics. I would, like, pack my bags and just go to, like, that's how I've been able to travel so much. I'll always just go and, experience a different culture. And I would learn from that culture, and I'll try and come back to athletics with what I've learned. And then I'll be like, okay, let's go again. And then it'll happen again. And then it's like a repeat cycle for, like, the whole 10 years. Yeah. But no, I'm kind of glad that it happened as well, because if it never happened, I wouldn't have been able to be in the situation that I am now in terms of like being with my new coach. I love my new coach. He's like the cutest man ever, the cutest old man. So yeah, no, I really enjoy it. Yeah.
I think to come back like 10 years worth of injuries, and some of the injuries that you mentioned, like no cartilage in your legs, like even as a normal walking person, like I have pain in my knee, and that annoys me. And as I'm trying to train for a half marathon at the moment,
you do the half marathon.
I'm training for it right now, and like getting my body used to like all the different training schedules, fast, slow, and the pain that can come afterwards. And to run on pain or to run through the pain, it takes another level of commitment. But even to go through that injury and still come back like you have and then get a medal like last year, it kind of goes to show that sometimes you just got to keep on going and then find what works for you, right?
For sure.
What was the like tipping point, would you say, that made you decide to go to America then?
We went to warm weather training. So warm weather training is basically, we leave in we leave in March when it's still a bit cold, and we'll go to like somewhere very hot. Like, so we normally go to Texas, America, Florida. Some people go to South Africa, Tenerife. It really depends what group you're in. And we went there, and I don't know, I was just so unhappy in that group. I was so unhappy in the environment. And I remember being there, I did one session, and I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. Like, I was like, this is not for me. I said, I need a change, because I went through like a little bit of depression too. So I was kind of like doing it half-heartedly. And I just knew that this was it for me. And I was like, I was either going to stop or I was either going to go to a new coach. And how I found my new coach is so many people were tweeting about him. He's won like NCAAs, 11 NCAAs with Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. So it's like a national competition thing that they do around the whole of America. And people were tweeting about this guy, and I was like, okay, let me do my research. Did my research. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to him. Found his details, called him. I said, listen, I need to come to you. He was like, okay, it's very far from where you are, and you have to make sure that you're going to be comfortable and everything. I was like, it doesn't matter, I'm coming. And he was like, all right, cool. So we spoke a bit more. I found the place. Like, it was all done within a month. Oh, like, wow. Yeah, I literally, within a month, I was like, found the coach, I'm going. Got a place. Didn't even view the place because I was still here. I said, whatever, I'm going. That place, my first apartment was infested with roaches. I said, oh my God. I lasted there for like 2 months and I moved.
That's still good though.
Yeah,
2 months.
2 months. I was like, I can't do it anymore. But so in the space of a month, I did it. Got there. The first day with my new coach was, I didn't run well at all. I ran my slowest time, but I was happy and I was enjoying it. And I knew that something was going to come out of it because that man he used to train Gatlin. He's trained some of the top athletes. So I just knew something was going to come out of it. So I trusted it. And then my second year, which was last year, the trust came through because hello. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you were training, because did you have to still come back to the UK to be part of Team GB then? Is it Team GB or is it Team England?
Team GB.
Team GB. So how does it work in terms of like joining the team? You can work. Can you travel? Can you train anywhere in the world?
Yeah, you can.
Or do
train
you have to come back to the UK to do certain like qualifiers? Or
so the only
like
thing you have to come back to the UK for is the trials, which is normally June or July, for the championships that year. So I didn't have to come back throughout the year. And I didn't do the trials that first year. My first year, I didn't do it. It was last year that I did it. It was my first time doing trials since 2018. Wow. So yeah.
You smashed it, boy.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. I was like, actually going into the trials, I didn't even think I was going to make the final because I think going into the trials, I was top. I was like 30th going into the trials. And then I went to the trials, made the final. I was like, oh shit, like what's happening? I didn't know what to do with myself. And then the final was raining bad and I just didn't run because I wasn't trying to get hurt. But I still made a 2 and I was like, okay, like what? Like, yeah, it was weird.
That's amazing. So talk to me about the World Championships.
The World Championships?
Last year, yeah. So you made the team.
I made the team. Then we went to, after we made the team, we had to go to the Diamond League at the Olympic Stadium in London, which was like sold out, had 50,000 people there. So like that was like a nice experience going into the World because I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to be expecting. It was insane. All I could, when they said my name and I heard like the cheers, I had like goosebumps. I said, oh my God, what is this life? It was crazy. My mum couldn't come because she just can't watch me. She gets really nervous. She couldn't even watch me at home on TV. My sister was like, she couldn't see it. And I was like, oh my God, pathetic. So we ran, like we had the Americans there. We had a few good athletes. So it was like a little preparation. We went there. I think we came like second, which was really good. I ran first leg, which is the leg that I normally run. Then we went to the World Championships and I ran last leg. And I said, oh my God, I can't do this. I cried.
Really?
Yeah, when they told me I was running last leg, I went to my room and I was like, girl, I was calling everyone that I know. I was like, guys, I can't do it. I'm going to let the team down. I've never done last leg. Like, like crying my eyes out. And my friends, Bianca and Asha came into the room. They were like, you're going to be fine. I said, no, I'm not. I can't do it. And because I haven't practiced last leg throughout the whole camp.
How different is last leg to first leg?
Well, like first leg, you just start. Last leg is the pressure leg. Like you just got to do it. And for me, it's just, I just have never done it before. And when we was in the camp, I was just doing first leg, but one of the girls got injured, so they had to put me in last leg. And Bianca was changing over with me, and I haven't done any changeovers with her throughout the whole camp. So the only time we did a changeover was at the warm-up before we went inside. And that kind of, put me off because I was like, well, I haven't, like, if anything goes wrong, they're going to blame us.
And you know how the UK press will be onto you? Like,
so I said, I can't. Like, I was nervous. When I tell you I was shaking. So I spoke to Katrina Johnson-Thompson and she wrote me like a really nice message. She was like, listen, you've been preparing yourself for this. Like, just go out there, walk around. Like, when you get in the stadium, look around, take a minute to soak it in, which I did. I got out into the stadium. I said, what is this? It was packed. It was like, probably like 80,000 people and all you see is just lights everywhere.
Wow.
And I had Shelley and Fraser next to me and I said, oh God.
Had you met her before?
No, this is the first time. Now, obviously I've met her before, but I've never raced against her before. I met her like a couple of years ago and I said, I love you. Yeah. And I was so nervous, I just like, the only thing that came out of my mouth was like, I love you so much. And she was like, okay.
I didn't understand.
I said, no.
Oh, before?
Yeah, the first time I ever met her. So we was like, so how we even like got on the same buggy to go to the stadium. So it was the Jamaican team and the GB team in the same like cart thing. And like I just kept looking at her like, oh my God, I'm next to Shelley-Ann Fraser. This is insane. Like, and Elaine and like, oh, the Jamaican, like, it's crazy. I'm about to run against these people. It doesn't even make any sense. And Shelley-Ann Fraser is like one of my favorite athletes in track and field.
She's amazing.
And like they call her the pocket rocket, and people normally call me the pocket rocket too because I got such a fast start.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I got there and I saw her doing her little thing, I was like, oh my God, okay, maybe I should do something too. And so I'm like fixing my leg and I keep looking over at her to see what she's doing, and she's just like taking it all in, and I'm trying to take it in back home because it's like there's so many people and I'm trying to concentrate and I'm trying to remember what hand to put out and everything. So if you see, I have like a white tape on my hand.
I saw that, yeah.
Because I couldn't remember. I was so nervous. I couldn't remember what hand to put back.
Yeah.
So I had to have the tape on my hand. And then like, obviously we got the button. Of course, we came second to the Jamaicans. We wasn't going to beat them. And it went well. I was like, wow.
It must go so quickly. Right?
So quick. Like there's no room for mistake. It was like, I probably ran for 10.28 seconds.
That's fast.
Yeah, that's how fast I run.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like when you're the fourth person, you're literally just waiting. Like you hear the gun and then you literally got 30 seconds.
Yeah, and you're literally waiting to make sure that the button comes across because, relays are a bit... So you're just like praying like, please let the team bring it across, please. No mistakes. No one gets disqualified. Just that's all you're hoping for. Yeah. And once you get it, you're now like, oh shit, I have to go. Like you see her coming and you have to wait to a certain check mark to go. Every check mark is different with whoever you are. So I'm like watching. I'm like, should I go now? Should I wait? I don't want to go too early because she might not catch me if I go too late. She might like come into me. So luckily we did it perfectly. And I was like, it was so nice. So nerve-wracking. And after she gave me a hug, I said, oh, she's like, thank you. It's like, give me your powers. But no, she was amazing. And it was really nice because like afterwards the girls were like, well done, Annie. Like you did it. And I was like, I did. But that was great.
Yeah, that's such a story because it's just taught you that you can just do it.
Yeah.
If you really back yourself and people can support you.
If it was a different leg, if it was like second or third leg, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have been like, take me out of the team.
Yeah, but look, everything happened for a reason.
Yeah,
because even I heard that the Jamaican team, they put two of their fastest runner in that heat as well.
Yeah, and then they took them out.
Yeah, why did they do that?
I guess they want everyone to get a medal and they want everyone to get some money. So the money ain't even that good. It's terrible money. But.
Yeah. Because how does it work? Were you planning to do the final then as well?
Yes, I was actually... So I was going to run No, we wasn't going to run the final. So the final was going to be Dina to Amani, to Bianca, to Daryl. Then Dina got hurt. So when Dina got hurt, it was between me and Asha that was meant to go first leg. But because Asha's had experience, she's been to all the champs, run every leg, they decided to put her before me, which was fine.
Yeah.
I still get my medal. I don't care.
You still got your medal, you're good to go.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. So yeah.
So then this year you're planning to do the relay, you reckon?
Oh, this year I'm planning to do a lot more. I want to make individuals. I would like an individual sport as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So talking about high pressure environments in general, because you mentioned being in a stadium, 50,000, 80,000 people shouting your name. And especially if you're on a starting block, it goes silent. And in my mind, I kind of think metaphorically of how you kind of have to get your own stillness within yourself before you can run. And even as you're running, you need to figure everything else out. But what's your perspective? How do you deal with those type of environments and run at your best?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't done enough, so I can't even tell you. What did I do at Worlds? I feel like at the trials, I was less trials than Diamond League, then Worlds. At the trials, I was happy. I was just like, hi everyone, smile. Everyone's all like, and I'm just smiling, waving and everything, and everyone's so serious. And I'm like, why are you guys so serious? It's trials. We already know who's gonna win, and then it's literally who comes top 3. Dina was always gonna win, but it was different. It was nice. I'm not a serious athlete. I don't. If I get super serious, I feel like I don't run well because I'm overthinking it. So what my thought process is just just do what you do at training, at competition.
Have
That's
fun.
it. Yeah, have fun.
But even with the injuries, it's not in the back of your mind like that kind of holding you
I don't
back.
think about it anymore. No, if you're gonna get injured, you're gonna get injured. There's literally nothing you can do about it. Like, I'll tell you a secret. I was injured at the reason why I didn't actually run in the final, at the trials, because I was injured. I strained my hamstring. And so when I went to Diamond League, I don't know if you saw, I had like tapes all over. I didn't tell them I was injured, because if I told them, they would not have taken me to the teams. They would not have allowed me to run. They would not have taken me to Worlds. So I just told them I had like period pains.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh yeah, I have period pains, which is hurting my back. So it's also affecting my hamstring. So we put tape. And I didn't really run my best at the Diamond League, because I was hurt. Like, I could feel my hamstring just pulling and pulling and pulling. Thankfully, by the time we went to Wales, I was all like better and stuff. So
It's worth the gamble.
it was worth the gamble. I'll do that all over again. Like, it was worth it. Like, so worth it. But no, I was definitely hurt.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. And you talked about like money when it comes to funding and athletics. So how does it work? Like, because it's not like football or where there's contracts. Like, how does the funding usually work for athletics?
So it depends. Like, there's lottery funding, which is from the federation. I think if you earn a certain amount of money, then you don't get that money. So you get paid on a monthly basis. I think it's like 2,000, which is
For the national lottery.
a month for the athletes, which is not a lot. And then you obviously have your kit sponsorship. You have depending on what you like, what other brands you have like your brand deals and stuff like that. And then when you go to like the Olympics, doesn't pay you a dime, like a zero, nothing. You don't get no money from the Olympics, even though it's the biggest event and they make so much money.
Really?
You don't, as an athlete, you get nothing from it.
Even if you win?
Nobody gets money from the Olympics. Like, nobody. And it's so crazy. So the Olympics is on the 1st to the 11th of August. From the 11th of July up to the 11th of August, you are not allowed to talk, like, you're not allowed to post about brand deals and stuff like that. You have until the 11th of August. After that, you can't thank your sponsors. You can't be like, oh, I've just been sponsored for this, for the Olympics. You cannot associate the Olympics with any brand deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite restrictive.
It's insane. If you see the rules, it's like, what the hell? It doesn't make any sense. We get nothing from the Olympics. So for Wales, you get money. It's like, I mean, if you're doing individual, I think first place is 80,000, second place is like 40, then 20, then it just goes down, down, down. So for the relay, we came third and we got 20 or 16, 20. Anyway, it was 20 split between 5 of us. Like 3,000 something.
That's so bad.
It's bad.
Like, it's not lucrative at all.
No.
Like, and the thing that kills me about athletics, like I said at the beginning, where if you're not top 3,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's not like a team sport.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, how as an athlete are you expected to survive?
Well, that's how you have to go and find your sponsor. You have to find sponsorships and stuff. You have to find a sponsor. You have to find brands. You have to find people that believe in you. A lot of athletes work. So many of them work and train, and it's just horrible. It's like, I don't know. I feel like the reason why there isn't a lot of money in it because of the drugs and stuff like that is associated with athletics, because they're always kind of reporting about it. Whereas footballers and every other sports do it, but they don't report about it.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like footballers take drugs. Boxing takes drugs. They just don't report about it as much as athletics do.
Really?
Yeah, in athletics, it's just always on the news. Like, oh, this person took drugs, this person took drugs. Whereas, like, you barely really hear about, like, footballers. I mean,
that's such a good point, actually.
Yeah, like right now, I think Pogba's the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know so many of them do it. Like, so many. And also, like, we get drug tested the most. I think, like, you can go, in a week, you can get drug tested like 4 times. Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane.
I'm trying to think. I wonder why that is. I'm wondering if because athletics, in my mind, has the type of brand where it's the purest of sports.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's your pure skill, you as an individual, you training. Obviously, you can be born with certain abilities, but the harder you train, the better you get.
Yeah.
And it's like meant to be completely natural. Whereas, I guess in football especially is like so corrupt in certain ways where I wouldn't be surprised if certain people are doping.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if football's doing it, they all must be like, they must be doing it. They must be doing it.
Because I wonder as well, like, will athletics as a sport become as popular as it was? Because I remember like growing up, always wanted to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
And then we had the Usain Bolt era where everyone was on it. And then now it seems like no one's really into it as much as they used to.
Yeah, I feel like it's coming back with the Shikari and Sharika. I feel like people are starting to watch again. I don't know. I just think it's not being advertised properly as well. Like we are almost like our own advertisement, which is also really annoying. And right now, a lot of things are based on social media. So like, depends. I just feel like it just depends. It really depends on like the person that is running, the person that they feel like is,
Superstar.
Superstar. But I think it's slowly coming back again, thank God. But, yeah.
do you find yourself being pressurized to become like a superstar as well then online?
No, I do not care enough about that kind of stuff, honestly. I'm a very quiet person. I just like my peace. I like to be on my own. I'm not really into the spotlight. I'm not into like all that kind. I know so many people are. So many people want to be bigger on socials because they feel like it will help with brands and stuff. I don't know. It's not. I don't really get drawn to that kind of stuff. I like my peace of mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like walking and people are like, oh my gosh, it's you. No, leave me alone, please.
So then, what drew you to athletics in the first place?
School. I did a lot of sports at school. So I used to play like football. I played for QPR girls. Before I went into track, I used to do trampolining, basketball, netball, all that kind of stuff. And my PE teacher was like, no, athletics is for you. And then that's how
Why? What did he wear?
She just said I was fast. And I was like, okay. So she took me to like the local club in Willesden. And yeah, I trained Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I was there for many, many years. I kind of started my career. I went to all the junior championships and everything. And yeah, from there, that's how it happened.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, I think being able to be in those kind of competitions at such a young age and see yourself. Like my school, what did we do? Football?
Yeah.
Basketball. That was it.
Oh,
we didn't do rugby. We didn't do. I think we tried to do a little bit of like long distance running, but ain't no one trying to do that in the fields. But there wasn't much of a like appetite to kind of push people to go and down the track and field way. Like, not to say I was fast myself. I mean, I was the fastest in primary school. I will hold that that title forever.
Primary school.
Yeah, primary school. I got a good sprint on me. And I think especially like because of my size, I was thinking if I'm going to do any sport, it would be like American football. But I just never got an opportunity to try. Yeah.
Do they do that here?
They do it. There was only one place that done it. It was like on Sundays in Finchley Park.
Wow.
But then my dad was always on to me, so I had to always go to church on Sundays. So I
couldn't go after church?
No, because it starts at like 11. And the church I was going to, mate, it was like them 12 till 4 services, maybe even 5 p.m. So it's like my whole Sunday is gone, basically.
Okay, that
makes sense. It was a challenge. It was a challenge. But at a young age, like they do say that when you're putting children through these competitions, that can be a lot of pressure to deal with.
Oh, really?
And like it can take away the fun from it. Were you still able to have fun?
Yeah, I was young. I was just excited to travel. Like we went to Singapore for the Youth Olympics. We was there for 2 weeks. We went to Barcelona, went to Estonia, went to like all these amazing countries. I didn't care. No, I loved it still. And I had loads of friends in track and field, and I was kind of popular because I was doing really well and all that kind of stuff. So it made it fun. No, I enjoyed every part of it.
Yeah. When did you say I'm going to do it full time? Like take it seriously?
When I came out of uni, or just before uni, I was like, okay, let me give this a go because like I just can't see myself work.
What did you study?
I studied drama. I went to like the second top drama school, by the way.
Oh, where's that?
I went to Central School of Speech and Drama in Swiss Cottage. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah. So you wouldn't be an actor as well?
No, absolutely not. No.
What kind of drama were you doing?
I was doing performance art. Yeah. I've doubled in a lot of things, but no. No.
I mean, it could be an avenue later on. No?
Absolutely not.
Why?
No. That industry's not for me.
Not for you, just don't like it.
I just don't enjoy it. No,
fair enough. I mean, even just the ability to say I'm going to focus on athletics like full time is amazing to do. Yeah. So then, like throughout that period where you're going like through a lot of injuries and not say performing at the highest that you wanted to, you said that there was a few times that you wanted to quit.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you were like battling through different elements such as like depression. What kind of techniques did you employ to kind of like get yourself out of the headspace and just keep on going?
Traveling.
Traveling, yeah.
Literally traveling. Like, you know, when you're like depressed, right? You go to a different country and you just see people having way worse than you. And you're just like, okay, I need to stop being stupid. So like, I'll never forget going to Cuba. Oh my, have you been before?
Hey, when I went, it was amazing. But the night I was there, Fidel Castro died.
What?
Yeah. Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro died that night. It was, oh mate, imagine. So let me tell you quickly, and then you tell your story. Yeah. So I done a week in Colombia.
Ooh, I want to go to
Amazing.
Colombia.
And then went to Cuba. We went to a club, and then around 3 a.m. they stopped the music. Everything shut down. Like, what's going on? They said Fidel Castro died. Fidel Castro died. I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, get back to our hotel or Airbnb, and in the morning we find out like 10 days of mourning, no alcohol, no parties, no loud music, can't do nothing. So the whole country was shut down.
Oh, hell no.
It was still a great experience though. But yeah,
I didn't
tell me about
enjoy
your fun.
Cuba.
You didn't enjoy it?
No.
The food or just the people?
Just not the people, not the food, just the place. It was so, I just felt guilty being in that country.
Really?
Which part did you go to?
I went to Havana,
Yes, and Venezuela.
Trinidad.
Okay.
I think went to Cienfuegos.
Okay, no.
And somewhere else.
So I went to
Maybe
Venezuela first, which I loved, enjoyed, the best. I was like, oh my gosh, is this how Cuba's going to be? This is insane. Went to Havana, I said, oh no. I felt so guilty. Like, we stayed in a casa. Like,
Paxillarias, yeah.
Yeah. So we were just staying in like people's houses. And, you know, there'll be people coming in begging us for like our stuff. And like, there wasn't anything there. I don't know. I mean, obviously they're happy.
Yeah.
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. But like, when you're speaking to locals and stuff like that, they were just like, no, we don't have anything. Like, they're asking us to leave our toothbrushes, our toothpaste. So you didn't get that?
No, not at all.
What?
None of that. I mean,
you stayed inside Havana?
Havana, we stayed in Havana. We stayed in we stayed in an Airbnb in Havana. But then in the other places, we stayed in the casas.
Yeah.
But when we spoke to locals, that's where we got a more understanding in terms of like the real life there.
Yeah,
like
everyone gets paid this. Like, it's just...
everyone gets paid the same. Like my friend got robbed. My friend got robbed.
How? It's so safe there. Wait.
So basically, it's his own fault, isn't it? I won't hurt him up, but basically, he met a girl.
Okay.
Took her back, and he left his wallet on the bed while he went to the toilet.
Wow.
When he came out of the toilet,
she was
gone. All the money in his wallet gone, and the most expensive kiss he had in his life. And then, so we met that guy. And then other times that we went to a restaurant, and I remember so specifically, we got served by a waitress, and like the meal, let's just say the meal was like 30, and we gave her maybe like 50 or 60. She came back and said, "Oh, guys, this is the best tip I've ever had." So I was like, can't be mad, didn't give us no change. And then another time we met another guy, and he was basically so honest about his hustles where he essentially tries to befriend women and get in relationships with them so that he can get money out of them and then find his passport out of the country. So for him, he had like one lady in Scotland who was like paying for a new roof of his house. And then he was saying one of his mates is now living in Sweden. So that was his route out of the country. So you definitely feel that there's like a hustle mentality to try and get out. And I feel for them, honestly.
Yeah, so like that type, when I went there, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, how can I be so sad about pathetic things like athletics where there's people, like we saw little kids smoking cigars, like, and there wasn't enough snacks. They only had like ice cream, bread, and like crisps from what I remember. And there was just so many things happening in that country. I just like, what?
Yeah.
So I think for me, like every time I feel like I'm about to be in that state, I try to go to like a different country just to experience their culture and just see what they're going through. Obviously, it's an expensive way to get rid of your depression, but like I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford to do that. That's why I love traveling so much. And then like recently, maybe like a couple of months ago, I had like a mini eating disorder kind of thing. I don't know why, but like I just became very subconscious with with my body and everything else. And I remember telling my coach, I was like, I think I've got an eating disorder. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, because every time I eat, I'm like, I feel like I'm putting on weight. And I'm not. I'm actually losing weight. And my coach was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I've been battling with this for a while. And then he was like, you need to go and speak to someone. So I went to speak to someone. They're like, yeah, you have like an acute eating disorder kind of thing. And I don't know where that came from because I eat very healthy. I'm not big. I'm as lean as I've ever been. So I'm not really sure. I'm still kind of figuring it out. I'm still like in therapy, speaking to my therapist and stuff like that. But like I feel like when you're doing a lot of things, you have all these problems that just come from nowhere that you would never have imagined. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. You're very like open as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like there's nothing to hide. I feel like eventually, whatever you say will help someone in the long run. Like I remember speaking about obviously like the skin bleaching and stuff like years ago, and I remember like loads of kids coming up to like messaging me on Instagram and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm going through the same thing and thank you and all that." I'm like, yeah, help.
do you find pressure trying to like being an advocate then?
No, God, I'm not that. Please. Please, no. I try not to associate myself with a lot of things. I'm not nobody's idol. I'm not nobody's icon. I'm not nobody's inspiration. Just me talking. If you take something out of it, take something out of it. But don't be like, I'm a role model. I am not a role model to nobody. Please.
But sometimes it can't be helped, right? Because even just
help yourself. Don't use me as a role model.
no. As in, like you can only be what you see.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
What you see, like from my perspective, is like someone who's been able to battle through injury, battle with self-identity, and be able to come out on top of it, and still like be smiling and like everything is good, and even to still be vulnerable to share that what you're still going through. And I think in this day and age where we idolize people, and we think that they can't make any problems, but they can't have any problems, but you're still able to like share yourself. So I think in some ways it's like it's inevitable.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I like the fact that you're not even putting pressure on yourself to even be like that in the first place.
No, I've never. I don't know. I've never really. Maybe I've never looked at people as role models and stuff like that. So I don't think people should look at. I feel like everyone makes mistakes and everyone do things that they shouldn't do, and everyone like no one's perfect. So I don't believe in role models as such because of that kind of. We're all humans.
Yeah.
But society or people want to give these titles and I just don't believe in them. I really don't.
Fair enough. And then talking about other things that you do.
Yeah.
So IMG model in the building.
Yay. Woo, woo, woo.
How did that happen?
How did that happen? Oh my gosh. This is going to be my third year. Okay, so 3 years ago, this lady, I did a campaign for Sure, the deodorant brand. And I guess the lady still had my details. And I don't know why or how she still had my details. So I got a message on WhatsApp saying, oh, there's a shoot coming up with MAC Cosmetics. Do you want to do it? And I was like, who the hell is this? Like I said, who are you? She's like, oh, I was the one that casted you for the shoot, for the Sure thing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, like, but why? Like, I didn't know if it was legit because in my head, I was like, they don't normally do it that way. Anyway, I just went with it. So she sent me the details. I was like, okay, whatever. Went to the shoot and it was for a magazine called Beauty Paper Magazines. And the CEO of the magazine was there and, was talking. She was like, oh, you're so pretty. Like, you're doing all of these modeling things. Are you signed? I was like, no, I'm not signed. I just do like freelance kind of thing. She's like, I know a company that would, I know an agent that I think would love you. And I was like, okay. So she didn't really say anything. So I went and got my hair and makeup done. Then she came back and she was like, the agent that I'm talking about, she's from IMG. When she said IMG, I looked at her. And
Really?
I said, be for real. I said, IMG is not going to sign me because first of all, they have like, it's like the top agency. They have some of the best models like Gigi, Bella Hadid. They have like all these big names. They have Tiana Taylor. They have like Sierra, all of them. So I was like, be for real. So she's like, no, I'm going to message her. So she messages her, I think, and I don't know actually what happened. So I did my shoot and I'm like, all right, bye. Hoping that she'd say a lot more. And then she didn't say anything. She's like, I'll message you on Instagram or something. So I was like, all right, cool. 2 weeks go by, I'm in my pottery class because, I like to like de-wind and like make my little pots and things. In my pottery class, I get a message. It's like, Tuesday, 12 p.m. meeting with Christine from IMG. I was like, what the hell? So I started screaming. I was like, ah! And then like my teacher's like, what's going on? I said, oh my God, I have a meeting with IMG. And it was during COVID, so it was a Zoom call. So I got my meeting. It was like 3 meetings. I had my first one. I spoke to Christine. She was like, blah, 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 blah. She told me to speak, tell her about myself. I did. Second time I spoke to her, she was like, I'm not really looking to sign any more people because I've got so many going on, so many things. But I'll give you a go. And I remember muting my phone and I go, what? Oh my God. And she was still talking and I wasn't even listening to anything she was saying. I was like, no way. I paused my phone, I mute my phone and she was just like talking. I was like, I'm so thankful. I said, thank you. Thank you. Like what? I remember coming off the phone. So this was basically like in March. I didn't officially announce. We didn't officially do everything until May. So everything was signed by
2020.
May. Yes. And and since then, like me and her are really close. We speak like every day. Like she's literally like my bestie. But yeah, that's how I got signed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Were you thinking to do this like full time or balancing it out?
No, she would never have allowed me to do it full time because they always believe that it's really important to have a talent next to your modeling.
Interesting.
So she was like, you still have to do athletics. You still have to make sure that you're doing well in athletics. And then at the time I was explaining to her, and I was like, I'm looking to quit because she was like, you can't quit. She's another reason why I kept going because she was like, you can't quit. Like, you need this. You need this to make your modeling stronger. You need this to get your brands. You need this to get this. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So like, she literally would check up on me, making sure that I was doing it. And I will say she's literally one of the reasons why that I kept going was because of IMG, because they told me that I needed to keep my talent going. But yeah, no, it was insane. Like being signed to them, even like to say when people are like, oh, like when I went viral, a few modern agencies, so I'm trying to, even though it's on my profile, so I don't even understand why.
Yeah.
But a few modern agencies, like I had Premier, like one of the biggest, another big agency, they're not the biggest, but they're big. And they tried to approach me and I was like, I'm signed to IMG. And they're like, oh, okay, IMG. Yeah.
IMG must have been so excited.
Yeah, I was like, it was insane. I remember telling my mom and telling everyone, they're like, no way. How can you be signed to IMG? Not my mom, but like people like, how can you be signed to IMG? We don't believe you. I was like, all right, cool, wait then, wait. So when I announced it, they're like, oh my God. I said, yeah, see, I told you. Yeah.
And what's it been like working with them and working with some brands on some of the shoots?
It's been good. I love, like, maybe because I did drama. So like when I'm in front of the camera, I'm like a different person. And I've caught myself being different too, because sometimes I'm like, who the hell is this? Like I'm a completely different person. Like it's like somebody else is in front of the camera. It's been really fun. I love working with brands. Some of my favorite brands I've worked with, it's been Gucci. I've worked with Gucci. I've worked with, I did Vogue Italia. I've done my first cover. It was crazy because I got to work with like the biggest stylist in the world. Her name is Katie Grand.
Who was the cover with?
Circle 08. It's a magazine, and like I wore straight off the runway clothes, and I had like all these spread, and my hair was like big, then it was like straight, and it was like everything. I literally, let me tell you how that happened. So I had a race on the 14th of March in Texas. Flew, as soon as I finished my race, went straight to the airport, didn't even shower, went straight to the airport to take my flight from Houston to London. London in the morning of, so I think the race was like a Friday, maybe. London on a Saturday. Straight from the airport, they got a driver to come and pick me up to the shoot. Got to the shoot around like 7, 8, had a shower, brushed my teeth, everything in there. From there, from like 8 all the way to 11 p.m., I was shooting all day.
Wow.
Changing clothes, shooting. When all this, they took me. Then from there, they got me a car home. Sunday, flew back to Houston.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exhausting?
I was exhausted. Oh my goodness. I don't even remember if I ate that day. I was so tired, and like my hair was being styled in different ways, and I got to shoot with like the best photographer, and he's literally like the top. So I didn't care. I was like, you know what? I'm shooting like this is like so early in my career, and I'm shooting with like these insane people. It's crazy. So yeah, it was a long journey, but it was worth it because like my cover was insane.
Because when it's happening, do you actually get a chance to like enjoy the day, or is
No.
it just moving too fast?
It's moving too fast. Yeah, because you have people doing your nails, people doing your makeup, people doing this, and this. No, you don't. It's only when you go home you're like, oh my gosh, what the hell did I just do? Who did I just work with? Like what? And then you kind of like understand where you come from. Yeah.
What a way to be able to like diversify your income as well.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
did you ever see that on the roadmap for yourself?
No, I knew that I wanted to be a model, but I always thought I was too short because I'm 5'4". People think I'm 5'3", but I'm actually 5'4". And I was like, I don't know. I didn't really think it was going to happen. So when I was kind of doing a freelance thing, I was getting a few jobs. I got like Remo London. I got like a few good jobs. And I was like, okay, maybe this is how far I'm going to get. But now I didn't really think I was going to sign to an agency because I remember applying to like loads and loads of agencies. I never applied to IMG or like Wilhelmina and those brands. So I was like, let's be for real. But yeah, when I got it, I was like, oh, this is an amazing way to kind of work with like bigger brands, like going to fashion shows and being in that environment. Even though I don't really enjoy it, I'll be very honest with you. I went to Fashion Week last year, and I was like, yeah, this is not for me, but I understand it.
What didn't you like about it?
I just don't. I just don't like going out.
Okay.
I don't like going out, and I don't like parties, and I'm just not that type. I'm more adventurous. Like I like near death experience. If you told me we should go do skydiving or go and do bungee jumping or jump off a cliff, I'll be there. But if you tell me, oh, we're gonna party all night and drink, I'm not. I don't drink neither, so I'm not like it's not really my thing. I'm like really into like near death experience adventures like pottery making, just like stuff like that. So I went last year and I wanted to see it to see if I really didn't like it, and I really didn't like it.
So you won't go again? Unless you're
I mean, I don't have a choice. I'll have to go some of them, but yeah. And I went to the Vogue Fashion Awards show, and I've always wanted to go to that. That was on my bucket list. And I went, and I was like, okay.
It's cool though because like you're able to kind of set pace what you can do after athletics.
Yes.
And especially in an industry that you do enjoy as
yes.
well. Right? Like I guess what stops other athletes from thinking about like diversifying their income that way?
Because modern agencies don't want them.
Well, fair.
A lot of athletes are trying.
Yeah.
Like they just don't want them.
Did you try any other avenues outside of modeling? Like, did you try anything else?
No. I always know that I want to have my own foundation, and I didn't know how to go about it. But now that I'm in this environment, I know that I can go about it. But apart from that, no, I didn't know what I want to do. I still don't know what I want to do afterwards. I just know that I want a foundation. I know what foundation I want to do. And yeah.
And the foundation being modeling or like working with brands or?
No, so I want to have my own organization.
Oh, have a foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. And I want to basically, so when I was in school, there was quite a lot of people that would come to school and wouldn't have money for lunch and stuff like that. And you know, some people come to school and the only meals they have is school meals because their parents are either working or the parents don't have the money and blah, blah, blah. So what I want to set up is to help sponsor schools to be able to give kids free meals. That's what I want to do. That's one of it. And then my second one is I want to go to Ghana and open a women's center where they can play sports. I just feel like in Africa, parents are always forcing their kids to become like, have, you know, the major jobs like being a doctor, being a lawyer as a way of getting out. And I feel like they don't look at sports as another way of getting out because like, with sports, you can get scholarships to America. You can get full ride. And they're always looking for African athletes. So I know Nigeria does it really well. There's a lot of kids in America right now, full ride scholarships because of how well they're doing athletics in Nigeria. And so I want to bring that to Ghana. So I want to open a center, have like trainers, have like facilities, gyms, everything, and just be able to sponsor that and have women in Ghana doing track, football, whatever, to be able to come to America, have their education, and not having to worry about paying for it and everything. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's
what I wanna-
inspiring.
yeah, that's
it's
what I'm
like
trying to do.
2 countries, UK as well as Ghana. And what I really love about the Ghana one is like you're setting up an established pathway.
Yes.
Because I've heard all of these stories where you have these chairmen of like clubs who are going to like Africa and like poaching these players for cheap and then trying to flip them up, like basically make them into a product.
Yeah.
Which on the one hand, if it works out for the
Yeah.
player, amazing. But how often is that going to happen?
Like Nigeria does it so well. They have most of the kids in Nigeria and most of the kids in schools in America that are running fast are Nigerians and Caribbeans.
That's amazing.
So where's Ghana? And I just feel like we're next door. If they can do it, we can do it. My mum was so relaxed with every single one of my siblings. Whatever we wanted to do, she always supported us. She never forced us to do anything. And I really believe there are some talented people in Ghana. I mean, if I can run, I'm pretty sure they can run too. Yeah. They just don't have the facilities. And, Nigeria's more, because it's such a big country, they have all the money and, they can do a lot more. Whereas I feel like with Ghana, they don't have that. So I would love to really go and do it.
That's nice. Because I was going to ask about that, probably related, but like, do you think a lot around like purpose, legacy, and like the imprint you want to leave behind? And is that the kind of piece that you want to leave behind yourself?
Yes, yeah? For sure.
You know where it came from?
You know what? Recently I've just been seeing so many Nigerian athletes coming up. And I was like, where are my peoples? Like, where are my peoples? Like, why are you guys not doing nothing? Like, get up, do something. So I did some research and I realized that they don't have nothing. Got it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that then. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And with the one in the UK, I went to school with so many girls that wasn't able to afford lunches and stuff. So I just thought, and that's always been in my mind since I was in school anyway. I've always helped, like, I will always give people like money on the side and everything like that. So that's always been just something that I've always wanted to work on.
Yeah. That's brilliant. So what's next for you? So we've got the Olympics this year.
Well, first we have Bahamas. So we're going to the World Relays in Bahamas in May. And then, before that, I'm meant to be going to Botswana and Kenya and a few countries to compete. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
How many countries have you been there?
Oh, I've been to so many. How many countries have I been? I don't know.
Don't count. Stop counting. Yeah, I've got this app called Bean.
What?
Yeah, you ain't heard of it?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you. Yeah,
yes, please.
Yeah. And now they've updated it so you can even add cities as well.
Yeah, you need to send me that. No, I haven't counted, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So I'm meant to go to those countries to compete. I'm waiting for my agent to send me my race plan for the year. But no, it's gonna be a good year. I'm really looking forward to it. Like really, really looking forward to it.
No, it's amazing. I'm really, really excited for you. Yeah. So before we wrap up, I've got a couple quick fire questions for you. So my first question: what would be a book or film or documentary, anything in that nature, that you like to recommend people?
The Alchemist.
The Alchemist, yeah.
I've read that like 100 times.
Same, it's a really good book, isn't it? Yeah.
Like every time I just feel like I need the pickup. That's the book that I go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one piece of advice that you hear people give all the time, but when you hear it, you actually think it's bad advice?
One piece of advice. I don't listen to people's advice. I don't.
Just like sometimes some people might say, I don't know, like be yourself. Some people might say that's good advice. Other people might think that's actually bad advice, or be like, or like reach for the stars or whatever. Like,
reach for the stars. That's such a pathetic advice. What does that even mean? Yeah, no, that's a bad one.
That's a bad one.
Reach for the stars. Yeah, I just feel like be careful, isn't it? Like, what are you reaching for? And also, I feel like you can't just say reach for the stars if you don't have a purpose or a plan. Well, you're just reaching to catch it, and then what? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. What's one piece of advice? You said you don't listen to advice, so what's a piece of advice you wish you listened to?
Piece of advice: to take my creativity seriously. Yeah.
What would you say you're creative in?
I'm very creative in a lot of things, but I always get nervous to like post it or to like show it off. I don't know. I just feel like Nobody cares.
Especially if you do poetry, like, where's the
I know.
post? Where's the...
I'm so sick of it too.
Really?
If you see the posts I've made, you'll be like, oh wow.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to start posting it, mate. Put your own website, start selling
Maybe.
Your hand sign and that.
I just feel like I'm lazy too.
Yeah. That's what your management is.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. It's true.
Okay, and final question. If you had to leave anyone a message, like in terms of encouragement or just words of advice, what would that be?
So I'll be like, I actually give people cards all the time with like little messages inside it, depending on like what you're feeling. But I'll be like, you know, you've got this, you've been working so hard, and just do it. Like, just allow yourself to enjoy the moment and do it. Whatever the outcome is, at least you know you've tried your hardest.
Love that. And final question, where can people find you?
Instagram.
What's your tag?
Annie Tagoe. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Annie, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Oh, that's a firm handshake. My gosh.